Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in today's live stream, we're doing some mail opening, we're doing some live Q&A, and we're also doing some crafting while we kind of go along with that. So I'm really excited to hang out with y'all today. And we do have a few announcements, so I'm going to kind of let more folks show up. Hey Jody, hey Zoe, hey Tanya. How are y'all doing? Hey Renee, hey Freedom, hey Rosadell, hey Amber. Oh gosh, you guys, it went from, hey Yvette, it went from like cold winter to hot. Just like that. Lisa says, hi Vaughn, how is Callie doing? Sorry, I keep fighting off a sneeze. Callie's doing fantastically. We finished up her round of meds, and I think she might have actually been building up to being sick for like a week and a half because she's behaving like her old self again. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So I'm really happy about that. But hey, Cassandra. You say that. She says, hello, skinny. I've actually gained 15 pounds back, but I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting. But I've also been eating a lot of garbage. We'll talk more about that over on my vlog channel. Hey, Alan. He says, any leather work? Not today, but we do have some leather working tutorials coming up soon because I've got a few projects on my workbench and getting footage and stuff for them. So I'm really excited about that. Hey, Jim. Hey, Natalie. How's it going? And cheers, everybody showing up. I've got some coffee that's been sitting in the fridge for a minute because it's too warm for hot coffee now. So I think I'm gonna have to make some like coffee ice cubes for doing like iced coffee. Hey, Melissa. I'm glad you have the day off. Penny! Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many of y'all. I feel like I haven't seen in a minute. Oh, well, Guinevere, I'm glad you're here, but I hope you get to feeling better. Oh, well, thanks, Liani. I'm glad you like my wire wrap tutorials. And thanks, Lisa. Hey, JC. How to get a super chat. You know, I'm not entirely sure, how to go about doing that, but I do recommend to folks that if you do feel like donating, go on over to our Patreon because we actually get more of a cut over there and you'll get content for it. It's not just like, I don't know. I feel very bad whenever y'all donate because it's so generous and I want to give you guys something back. And on Patreon, we're able to do that. Hey, Deem. Ladies. Oh, okay. That makes sense, Penny. Now, Randy is going to be moderating, but I think he's finishing up a few things over on his end. Did this even turn on yet? Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to do like the @ sign and then Yvonne Williams, just like how my screen name shows up, and like same spelling and capitalization and stuff, and that'll highlight it in orange, just like how Brissy just did. Oh no, Brissy. Oh. Well, thanks for updating us. I sure hope Abby catches a break. Laura? Sorry, I just got super excited. Is that my Laura? Sorry, I'm scrolling through. I missed her comment if she's here. Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'm doing anything to make you mine, oh mine. Oh, it's copyright, never mind. In the chat line, the send button is $1 bill. Huh, well, that's good to know, Erin. Have you seen the silk screens from RJ Crafts? They do polymer clay tools and supplies. I haven't, Sabrina. Done a bracelet and twisted the wire at the end, and I was wondering how to make a loop and hook for the closure. I'm trying to picture what you're talking about. That way I can give you a better, if you go to the Discord channel, you can actually post a picture, and then we'll be able to better help you over there. So hopefully that helps. Sorry, I'm still trying to kind of get my head on straight. Where's the thing that does the stuff? So we have a bunch of, like, just a bunch of projects on the table. I can actually get these turned around. That way you can see. We have all of these guys are waiting to get coppered up the rest of the way on the back. Hey, Mikio. And then we have all of these guys over here. For those of y'all who follow us on Patreon, we've got a bunch of like sneaky peekies of these Zodiac, like, let's see. You've got Leo, and is that Libra, and Cancer, and Aries, and Taurus. And then I was experimenting with a new ring design, but it's just way too fragile there in the middle. But just bunches and bunches of projects all over the table. But we can get this popped in there. We did, Holly, I'm going to be opening mail here in just a sec, but I wanted to do a first wave of latex because this guy, I had started with one of these components, which even though it's metallic and it's like an alloy, it doesn't electroform as well as I would like it kind of flakes off. So I went ahead and did like graphite, but before doing that I used epoxy sculpt, right, Erin? And then I had done like a little bit of like a copper edge on this part here, and then I just taped it off and sprayed graphite on there. And what did I do with it? There it is. And so now I'm going to be going through with this liquid latex. There are a lot of different patterns you can paint on these mica powders. Ooh, right on, Sabrina. I'll have to check that out. Where did I do my paintbrush? There it is. And then this is my little gooped up latex paintbrush. Let's see if we can't... I know some of y'all are really into those, like, peel #satisfying. Maybe. I don't know, this stuff is super durable, though. Good gravy. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to go off camera, but I'm like wrestling this. Ooh, right on, Guinevere. I'll have to check that out. I am not lie. I am just bad at Facebook because I'll get sucked in, and then like all it takes is like one crappy person to make me be like, nope, F this, I'm going back under my rock. So, which is bad because then I miss out on all the cool stuff that Facebook has to offer. Okay, now whenever I'm putting on the latex, this was kind of a little bit of a huge glob. Maybe there's something else I can latex up. Yeah. I want to make sure that it's not going to be overflowing. You all right, love? Okay. So that's a ring that I'm making as well. Let me tilt this down a bit. Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd do anything to make your mind on mine. Herpin' derpin' do. And so I'm just going to come through just with my fingers and clean up the edge a little bit. But it looks like it was okay. But I just want to be able to make sure that I'm not blocking off any of the places where I wanted copper to be forming. That looks pretty good. And so now we can get in here. Yeah, Randy's actually finishing up his Patreon shipments. We finished up yesterday, actually. We finished up sending off all of my Patreon packages, so we were really excited to get that off on time. And just for anybody who's wondering, we do send off our packages on the 15th of the month, or the following business day if the 15th is like a Sunday or something. But, so yeah, I'm just... a ball stylus tool or something would work really well for doing this too. I just want to apply the latex just right where I want it to end up being. And then I'm actually going to be using a porcupine quill, but you can use whatever you have to get it just really nice and close to the edge. Now this stuff actually dries pretty quickly. You can see it's kind of gooping up just a little bit. So I'm not going to worry about bringing it too close to the edge because I'd rather the copper build up some, but I want to be able to maintain the shine and finish of the stone. And the ammonite should be okay, but if there's any kind of calcite or something in there, it's going to disintegrate in the acid solution. So I want to make sure that the stone is protected, and then it also serves to protect it whenever I put it through the tumbler as well. And then whenever I do little rings like that, I'll actually use my parawire containers, like of wire, to just set the ring in. I'll actually use one that's a little deeper. Here we go. And so that way it'll sit nice and level and the latex can dry. Beep boop. Do 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 do. Cap that back off. But yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit of latex drying. That way we could go ahead and do a second coat. Boop. Okay, getting this back up over here. Gonna try to get caught up on messages real quick. Yeah. Yeah, Catherine Randy has a Patreon that supports his gaming channel, where he does like Let's Plays and reviews and different things. And it's just, I don't know, I really like seeing him kind of go over there and blossom and do his own thing without me being like micromanaging and horrible. Like, it's nice for him to have something that's completely separate of me, and I can just go through and enjoy the fruits of his labor afterwards by watching his content and stuff. Is the yellow oval stone one that can be peeled? Are you talking about this one? I've already peeled it. Actually, this one I didn't do a finish on, and you can see like it went like matte. Come on, sneeze. Excuse me. Is there more? Let's do this. I'll fight you. Okay, no, we're good. Sorry. Allergies. Like, the trees are pollinating everything. So, do you ever get overwhelmed juggling so many different projects? Yes. I'm finding myself getting overwhelmed at times, and I shut down. Yes. 100%, Erin. Basically every day. So what I do whenever, you know, it happens, the over, you all right, love? Okay. Did the printer do something? Okay. Is it fixable?
I hope so.
Okie dokie. I hope our printer didn't break. That would just be expected, I'm sure. Ember. I know you went outside. Whenever I get super overwhelmed, I'll go through and tidy up my workspace. So, and usually in the midst of, like, even if it's just going through the motions of tidying up my workspace, I'll find something that maybe I had been inspired by, and then I got buried, and then I'm like, and then I'll finish that project, or sometimes I'll make lists and just prioritize. Like this morning, very first thing was we needed to get some horns finished up for Aerodani Studios at the Georgia Ren Fair. And so we went ahead and like prioritized that over everything else.
Needed one page.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, it saves the number of prints from the previous.
Oh, sorry, babe.
I got this many. I don't need.
Well, you've got extra for never.
Not any good.
Right? Laura says, I had my first commission work from a client who bought at BransonCon. High five, Laura. That is awesome. Commission work is the best. I'm just horrible at it. So, like, yeah, commission work is one of the things that I should be prioritizing, but I'm like, what size room should you have to do your crafts? It depends entirely on you and how you like to have your things organized and spaced. Like, I'm just going to show you guys a quick look. I have my storage wall. That's an 8-foot tall shelf. I have my wire wrapping desk. I have my metal working desk. And then, I'm tangled up in the cord, I have my hot desk, which that's where I do like torch work and stuff. So I like to have a little nest to exist in. And then in our crafting, like costuming area, of the craft room, what used to be the dining room, we've got like the big table that we'll like cut leather and fabric and stuff on, and then we've got like polymer clay station and leather working station. So for us, a lot of it is just storage, because we'll buy our materials like in bulk. Like we've got more storage behind us on this wall here. Then on the other side of the window, we've got, well, a box light, but there's another rack just like that one, just as full. And then we've got another shelf right over there. So lots and lots of storage. And it's just, so it depends entirely on what you're up to. I've got some friends who literally craft in their closet. You know, it's like a walk-in closet, but it works well for them. Some people will just craft at their kitchen table, and they'll just pull their tools out whenever they have time for it. And so it's, there's no right or wrong answer to that. Though I am a fan of having a ton of space if you can. But used to, like for years, Randy and I operated out of like a 10-foot by 14-foot room. That's where we had everything, leather, everything coming out of. So it's been really nice to be able to like spread a bit. Right, Amber? She says storage is a huge issue for me. Never enough. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some mail opening. Randy is still finishing up what he's doing. We've got a few packages here. Oof. I'm gonna start with this one. Where did my scissors go? There my scissors go. My craft area is a postage stamp, right, Kelly? But the craft area that you're in doesn't prevent you from creating beautiful things. Like, you can create something amazing on like a dollar store, end table, and with like, I was actually thinking about doing a Walmart challenge to use like tools and materials from Walmart to show that you don't have to have something fancy special ordered online to be able to make beautiful jewelry. What? Nani? Oh man. Nicole! It says, this is a precursor to the other package I'm sending. I'm tempting you further down the soldering, metalsmithing rabbit hole. Enjoy your gift. Oh, okay, so this is silver solder paste medium. And I trust Nicole. I think she has a much better idea of what I need than I do. But it's a syringe type, which I've been like lusting over this stuff. Because if y'all are on Instagram, I've been following the Metalsmith Society, or it's Metalsmithing Society. Or no, they're on Instagram, and almost daily they're posting like the most valuable information from other experienced, talented artisans, and like there's a wealth of information there. So I basically I watch that when I go to the bathroom. But thank you so much, Nicole.
Is that why I've stopped getting memes?
Yeah. Sorry, I dropped the ball. Randy and I usually send each other like dank memes that we'll find on the internet.
I don't do any of that.
You don't? You send me lots of memes.
Not when I'm pooping.
Well, no, you play that game. That game that you play. Okay, I'm gonna try to catch up on messages. You got that right, girl. I actually do most of my wire wrapping work in the van. I drive at work during my downtime, of course. I was going to say, Meg, how do you drive and wire wrap? That's talent. Natalie says, my son-in-law is building me a big shop as I don't have enough room in my 10x10. Oh, Natalie, send us pictures. I want to see your shop because that's going to be amazing. Hey, Bettina, not too late. We just started the mail opening. Okay, so this is the second package from Nicole, and I'm dying to see what's in here. Because I've been wanting to get back to doing some metalworking, but I just... Classic case of too many irons in the fire for me. Okay, hopefully I don't lose an eyeball. Oh, that worked perfectly. Hey, for the wedding, give me a sign. Oh, that's a proper knife. Okay. Hey, MZ. Yeah, mail call for sure. I should watch what I'm doing so I don't lose a finger. There's Randy taping stuff up in there. You can read online if you like. Okay, I like. Dear Yvonne. The enclosed torch and regulators are to help tempt you into full-scale soldering. I love your streams, but don't always get to join. The two of you are hilarious and fun, and you've inspired me to look into different technologies in my metalworking and leatherworking. My husband kidded me that I bought a pair of shoes recently so I could copy the pattern. I am definitely imbued with the same sort of insanity as all crafters. Yeah, guilty on that one too. Nicole, thank you for your curiosity, inventiveness, and all your positive energy. It's infectious.
I'm just waiting on the day you open up a package and it says, Dear Stinky Poopanoggin.
Dear Stinky Poopanoggin, I hate your big dumb face. No, exactly. No, that's not, yeah, I don't know. But fortunately, this is not one of those letters. This is a heartwarming, happy, tear-wrenching. I recently started electro-etching silver, using salt water and a 9-volt battery. Super fun, but kind of the reverse of metal forming you have been doing. It's taking metal away while you're adding metal to your pieces. Huh. I'm also including a bunch of mixed large cabochon semi-precious gems. I hope you can use them. I think one is actually petrified wood. Ooh, it's the long, thinner one. I think it's really gorgeous, and I know you can do something fabulous with it. Have fun and never hesitate to reach out if you have soldering questions. Enjoy the adventure, Nicole. Thank you so much, Nicole. I gotta open it now. Hey, pretty little, what you do? I am continuing to tempt you down the jewelry soldering road. Let me know if you have questions. It's like playing chicken with metal, but the results can be awesome. Enjoy your gift. Holy, oh my God. Makes a thread-thin flame up to 6,300 degrees. Works in tiny places. So am I gonna, oh my gosh. Guys, are there any glues you'd recommend I don't use with polymer clay? Some super glues I've found will leave like a cloudiness on the polymer clay around the edge where it dries. But other than that, I haven't really found anything that I don't like with it. But y'all, I'm gonna have to read the instructions when I'm, because, okay, it says it takes oxy fuel, so am I gonna need to do, Nicole, am I gonna need to do like a thing of propane and a thing of oxygen for this? Cylinders can explode if damaged. Oh, I am so flammable. Okay. Okay. Always use a striker. Do not use Vaseline between. Right on. This, oh my God, like this is next level. Holy smokes, and it's tiny. That's gonna be so nice for getting in, because I had been using the butane torch like for creme brulee. And then I got the hothead one from Allison for lamp work, and I'm like, this is huge. I can't use this for jewelry. Like, I mean, it's perfect for lamp working, but this is going to be amazing, Nicole. Thank you. Oh, did I miss a troll? I'm sorry. I was having too much fun living my best life. Let me scroll through and see what they said. Did somebody already block my troll? I only get so many in a day. Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Did you block the troll already?
No, I have not.
I haven't found him. Well, that's a shame. I'd hate for their good work to go to waste. Not to mock his existence, but... Begone, thought! Somebody just rang. Do we have a doorbell? Hey, Pepper. Stop that. I'll be right back. I guess there is somebody at our house. Thank you. Ooh, Randy, it's your thing.
Oh, my thing.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, I'm gonna get out on the mail opening.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get over here.
Oh, that was
Randy.
anticlimactic.
Oh no.
I got a gift from myself. I wonder what it is. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, that's your makeup.
Oh, I got makeup?
That's one of your makeups.
Oh, for the Spyro. Well, thank you, baby.
And a sticker.
Of just...
A clear sticker. Or adhesive materials.
We'll save it. We might need to adhese something.
I'm gonna save it right there in the trash can.
Okay, I guess. Hey, Carrie, how's it going? Who needs a ding-dong when you have an automatic woofer? Randy, I'm happy for you that you got your...
Me too. It said it's gone on everything else.
I know. But now we can watch it even if the internet stops.
That's right.
Okay, so this is a close-up of the box that you had asked for. Hey, Rebecca. I am stoked out of my mind. I cannot wait to start using this. It's just, I'm going to have to learn for sure. Ooh, what this? Ooh, okay. This is an oxygen flashback arresters regulator. Okay. I've read about these in some of the books that I've been reading. Was, to keep it from, so the flame doesn't go up the tube and like blow up the canister. Excuse me. But yeah, and fortunately we do have a welding shop here in town, so I'll be able to get them hopefully to help me hook this up to make sure that I am doing it right. Because that's my biggest concern for all of these things is I'm like, I don't want to die. I don't want to blow up my house. Like, are you moderating now, honey?
Yeah, I'm moderating.
Thank you. Okay, so if you have had questions and we keep missing them, go ahead and repost them because now Randy's done doing what he was doing. Hey, Amy, thank you. We'll be able to answer your questions better now that we've got our teamwork going again. Oh no, Terry. Hey, Cindy. That is so cool. Ooh, and these cabochons. Oh my gosh. Fluorite beads. They're cool. I am going to get this flipped around though so that y'all can see too. Whoop. Oh, Carol, Callie is back to her rambunctious self. I'm actually really glad that we took her into the vet and that y'all enabled us to do that because, like, she had been not quite herself. Like, I wrote it off that maybe she was just being a teenager, like, because she's in that age of being a cat. I think we're back. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. Okay, turning this around. Sorry, guys. Yeah, whole app crashed completely. I'm so sorry. It is the future and nothing works. But I don't know. Yeah, I was just jibber jabbering, so I don't know where it cut off. But check out these fluorite beads. So how about those Red Sox, right? But gosh, these right? These are just gorgeous. Like I love that shape too. Oh, mid-cat update. Yeah, Callie had been, I guess, for like a week and a half, just getting progressively less energetic. And I didn't realize that maybe she'd been sick, but now that she's gone through her cycle of meds from the vet, she is back to her old rambunctious self, and I'm very happy to have my kitty back. No, Jim, we have a package for you from you. I'm just still working on Nicole's. Holy crepe. Gosh, those are gorgeous. Oh no, that broke, but we'll figure out something. Because here's one that's not.
I made a little list of talking points.
Oh yeah.
Did you completely forget about it?
I did.
Oh.
There they. I found the talking points.
You want to go over those?
Yes. Okay. Randy gave me talking points to talk about. Mikio, they didn't. Oh. They didn't tell us exactly, like they were just like she had a elevated heart rate, her respiratory was faster than what it should be, and she did have a fever, but other than that, like her blood work came back clean, so they don't know what was up, but she's all better now, so cool. Hey Maria. Okay, points.
Thank all you guys. It still came up a little bit over what you guys donated.
Yeah, but it's like we still had to pay a bit out of pocket, but y'all covered the bulk of it, and thank you guys so much, because had it been, because we were worried because the place across the way, like it was getting cleaned out, is still getting cleaned out, and we were like, what if they like sprayed, or if she got like secondhand rat poison or something. So I was very worried, and y'all just helped us to get it taken care of, and I really appreciate that. But we have. Do what, babe?
Well, that sucks.
What?
Well, I opened up my movies.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what's all this stuff falling out?
What happened?
My case has been shattered.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
Well, I think you can, like, file that with Amazon and they'll take care of it, won't they?
Yeah, probably.
If you have the inclination.
I think, yeah, if I have the information. I think the
Gotcha.
discs are fine.
Okay. Right on. Talking points. Patreon is shipped off and everything on time. I do recommend to everybody who is a patron to go ahead and, well, a patron within the continental US to sign up for informed delivery through USPS, and that way you'll get real-time, step-by-step tracking updates with your, with where your package is in its journey. In 10 days, kind of freaking out a little bit because I am not ready. OzCon in West Plains, Missouri. Randy and I are guests there, and we'll be teaching quite a few panels and vending in our booth and just hanging out and wreaking havoc, but hopefully in a good way. And then, MCFC in November, the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Con, is now in the Marriott. We're guests there, that's why this is pertinent. And they have their, one of their big guest announcements that they just did. I don't think I'm going to pronounce her name correctly, but it's Janelle Stevens, a stunt actress from quite a few movies, but most notably Black Panther, and a lot of the other Marvel movies and stuff. So I'm really excited to get to meet her because I think that is really cool. Then we will be vending, not guesting or teaching panels, but just vending at Anime St. Louis in St. Charles, Missouri, May 3rd through 5th. And then we just talked about Callie. She's back to her regular rambunctious self, climbing curtains and stuff. So, but yeah. Okay, Randy, I talked about your talking points.
Okay.
Did I do good?
Talk about it again halfway through, and then again at the end.
Okie dokie. He's such a good manager. When will we be back in Georgia? The Renaissance Festival's going on there now. Unfortunately, the only time we'll be we'll only be in Georgia for Dragon Con Labor Day weekend, but you can stop by at the Georgia Ren Fair and say hey to our good friends with Aerodani Studios, who are actually selling some of our, oh, hey Lara, who are selling our horns that we make. Good focus. Well done on talking points. Oh man, Nicole, these gems are just gorgeous though. We've got quite a bit more mail to open up still, so I'm going to wait to go through them, the rest of them privately. But thank you. I can't wait. I'm going to be doing wire wrapping and metal working with these. Super stoked about that.
Out of curiosity, are you checking your questions?
No, I completely forgot. Okay. I'm juggling a bunch of stuff, baby. Oh, we got a couple of questions. So Pool Pro Secret says, when and where is the next convention that you and Randy will be at? Planning my summer and would like to come see you guys. Well, other than OzCon in West Plains, Missouri, we will be at Anime St. Louis, May 3rd through 5th. And then the next one after that we'll be doing is Tokyo and Tulsa in July. So that'll be pretty cool. And then we don't have anything after that until Dragon. And then after that, we'll be at MCFC. So we have not a whole lot of shows this year, but the ones that we're going to we're really excited about. How much hot glue would you say you go through in a year? About 50 of the long sticks. I don't know. It depends. I go through a lot of hot glue. Not lot, but a fair bit. We keep invested in bulk boxes of it, and whenever I get to the last 20 sticks, I order another one. Beverly says, I finally was able to compete and join my first 3-in-1 chance. I'm going to send it in a dragon eye. I'm very proud. Right on, Beverly. Lisa says, how do you find out about the events that you vend at? Whenever we first got into vending, not everybody had a website actually, which is very interesting. How much things have changed just in the past decade. A lot of the times we would find out word of mouth from other vendors, and then also whenever we'd go to our first convention ever was Chattacon in Chattanooga, Tennessee in January. And they had this buffet style table where every other convention could put out flyers promoting their own convention. And I picked up one of everything, and then did a lot of phone calls, did a lot of Googling for whatever results that might have, come up with. And it basically, any convention that was within driving distance or that we thought that we might be interested in, I'd write it in, and then, chronologically, when they're happening throughout the year, and just have the date, the name, the location, and then as I find out more information, whether it was booth fees or whether it was different things, we would fill that in and then just apply and see which ones would take our money, and that's the ones that we would go to. Now I just Google, if we're you know, what's conventions in October? Let's see if we can find something in October. And then, you know, the internet has a lot of databases now that fans and convention goers have put together where you can find. But also, I do very similar things for craft shows. You can just search like a, you know, craft shows by state, craft shows by, you know, time, like all sorts of stuff. Jennifer asks, do you have a pattern for the bralette you wore? I can't find it if you do. We have it coming. I remade the pattern, have drawn it out, have it like cut out in leather, and then I've taken the pictures and we're going to be putting it into Inkscape, because I swear to God, if I get one more person who's like gives me a 1-star review on Etsy because they're like, this is hand drawn.
The pattern was hand drawn. 1 star.
1 star. But I'm like, yeah, they're right. It's hand drawn, even though I show in the video that it's hand drawn, even though I state in the description that it is hand drawn. They still are mad that it's hand drawn. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to get better at Inkscape and fix all of this, because enough people have complained that I'm like, you know what, you're right. You're just also a jerk.
Pattern's only 2D.
Yeah. Oh no, Randy, stop it. Randy's a bit jaded about it because he has to listen to me bitch. Because like I bitch and then get over it, like, and move on. Carol says, I have friends that want to know about the horns. Can you do those with magnets to put on the ears? They want to know if you can do that. I'm sure that you could. Right, Holly? I haven't though, but that's a really interesting idea. Ooh, right? Jimmy says, don't forget to make molds of your new gems. For reals. I'm gonna have to get more mold compound before I do that though. Lindy says, do you have another fairy house scheduled? I don't, but I have a hankering. Like, I'm starting to think that maybe on the Thursday live streams, we could do fairy sculpt, but it might have to be just once a month and not weekly. Like, I don't know how the time allotment would go. Hey, it's okay. Come here. That's all right. It's all right being a puppy. That'll be so cool to see you pull pro at Tulsa. Amber says, my work life goal is to be a vendor at an event you guys are at. Holy crap, that'd be so cool to see you, Amber. Hey, Dee. We haven't been to North Carolina in ages. But it's beautiful out that way, though. Okay, I caught up with questions for a minute. We're gonna open. Oof. Holly's package. Are you still here, Holly? I thought I just saw you. Fairy House, a doll playhouse. Ooh, that would be cool, Susan. What do I do with my knife there? There it is. I really love the watercolor on the front of this, Holly. Have a hot pop hoppity blessed Easter. Ooh, it smells nice. I really hesitate to cut across this because it feels like there might be like a note or something. No, okay. I just felt that way. Okay. Doing surgery to get it open. Ooh. Beautiful packaging. Check this out, y'all. Beautiful. Protect mom from evil mailman, right? We get it. You vape. Can't open online. Have a blessed day. Oh, okay. There's a surprise inside the jewelry box for you. I got me one and thought you might enjoy one too. You do so much and share with all of us. Thought the brush, ooh, would come in handy. Oh, and then bracelet is one formed only with wax, with silver then melted out of the small hole. Plating, I think. Bailey's by day plants. Ooh, I'm going to enjoy. I've not seen any in your kids. Okay. Oh, I love that. All the sparkles. Let's get into this. Okay. Holy smokes, just sent me a plant. And it's alive. Oh, wow. So the root ball looks really great. What kind of plant is this, Holly? Oh, that's gorgeous. Woo! 2 big clumps. Where can I set you that you're not gonna crawl away on me? Holy crap! Holly is a woman after my own heart. She knows exactly what makes me tick. It's like, send that. Oh. Check that out, y'all. Is this for me or for Randy? Because I think it's Randy's size. I'll still probably steal it from him, though. Oh, Holly, thank you so much for these. Yeah, I think these might be for Randy. Yeah, those are Randy's. Oh, Randy. Holly gave you some shirts, and they smell wonderful. You gonna come see them? Gosh, is this how your whole house smells? Because this smells amazing.
Ours smells like cat poop.
Well, not entirely like cat poop in our house. It smells like, right? It smells like just a lot of people live here that fart is what our house smells like. So your house smells really nice based off of the box.
All right. Well, thank you for the shirts.
Ooh, oh,
Those are awesome.
a proper jewelry box.
Oh, for half a second I was like, someone sent you cigars.
Yeah, they sent me cigars. I wouldn't know what to do. Oh my gosh, it smells so nice. Thank you. I'm gonna set that there. So this is the bracelet that was made, made from cotton rags, but looks like leather. It does, it had me fooled. So this is the Lost Wax cast bracelet. That is so cool. The texture on it looks amazing. Oh, and it hinges and then has like a magnet. Oh, that is neat. Thank you so much, Holly. Now we match. Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I keep losing that. Are you a doggy, Sam? Yeah, mostly. Most of the time. Oh, you got little boogers. You're why my house smells like farts, probably. But I love you anyways. Yeah, he's a good doggo. But yeah, that's my Sam. It's my little darkness. My little shadow hound. My little poop muffin. I love her little face. We'll snuggle after the live stream, okay? You're the best boyo. Other than your Bubba, who's also a best boyo. Because I can't pick favorites. But you don't speak English anyways, do you? That's alright. I'm really excited. Oh, hey, Randy, I think the one from Jim is for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you want to open it? Oh, that's fair. Holy crap, there's a bunch of them. Brushes. Oh, this is amazing, Holly. Thank you so much. And they're just perfect there in their little box, so I'm going to keep them in their little box. Woo. Oh, it was upside down. For Randy Vaughn. Gosh, it's a beautiful little fairy collage. Oh, and it's beautiful on both sides. I'm going to have to figure out how to hang this so that I can enjoy both sides.
Z, let the
I know, right?
Go in peace.
Oh, here's a note. It's Randy. Was not sure if size and style exchange if you need to. Yeah, it was the perfect size and style for him, Holly. Oh. And then we have our last package of the day, and then we can get back to crafting. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm missing something.
Back to questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll catch up on questions for a sec. Oh, we got a lot of them. Oh, boy. So, Julie says you should check out printify.com. It's a great website to create your own t-shirts and other things like backpack, shoes, and mugs with your own design. Right on, we'll have to check that out. We get all of our screen printing done by our good friends with World of Strange or Poetic. I just forgot their company name. You can find them if you Google World of Strange, though. You ever around North... Do what?
Poetic licensing.
I think Poetic Licensing, yeah. Oh, Lana says, did I miss the kitty updates? Literally driving now and pulled over. Callie is all better. Thank you guys so much. We were able to take her to the vet, and after being there for like 2 hours, and she got a couple of shots and like steroids and medicine for the next couple of days. It was really good. Like, she's much better. Very happy to not be getting fed medicine anymore. You should come to North Carolina. Huntersville has a Ren Fair that goes for months, almost year round. Holy crap, that would be a lot of fun. I didn't think I would make it today. Hope you're doing well. And this is Chin Up Devotionals. Question, when you do craft shows, how many of each item do you typically bring to sell? That's a really good question. Whenever I'm making something that's not one of a kind, like a lot of the necklace pieces are just one of a kind. Like I'll just make one of them. Like this one is up on our Etsy, and I only worried about making the one, but we bring about 50 to 100 necklaces with us. We can only display like 10 at a time, but that way if we have like similar styles or something sells, we have lots of stuff that we can put back out. And then also like upcoming, we have we'll be vending at OzCon, and then the following weekend directly we have Anime St. Louis, and that way we can make sure we have enough inventory to be able to survive 2 vending events back to back without necessarily having to make a lot of stuff in the like 3 days that we have in between. And so, but then whenever it's stuff like finger rings or earrings or anything like that, I try to have at least 5 of each style, with like gemstone and metal tone variations going on. That way if somebody sees a finger ring and they're like, oh, it's beautiful, but I hate everything about it. Or, you know, nobody ever says that, at least not too loud. But if they're like, this is perfect, but I don't really wear a lot of copper, if you had this with the same stone but in silver. And so I'll try to anticipate people, like what they might like or dislike, if that makes sense. So, but if I bring in a new product line though, like with our horns, I try to make sure that we have at least 5 to 10 of that product to be able to make a solid display. But don't focus so much on having to make very specific things and like specific amounts of specific things. Focus more on just getting stuff made. Follow what's inspiring you, because bye Lara, mwah! Give yourself a hug from me, pet your cat and stuff. I love you, Lara. I miss you so much. I think of you every day. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. It's okay. What was I talking about? Yeah, don't focus so much on the numbers or the particulars. Just follow your inspiration and just get things made, because sometimes being like fixating on gotta have this much, gotta have those things, can be counterproductive. Like just kind of follow, stay positive but also productive, if that makes sense. So follow your heart but still get shit done. So those are words that I should live by. Good luck at the vet, Laura. I think she's already gone now. How much should you take for your first table of jewelry? Even after over 10 years of vending, it still feels like we never bring enough, because there's always that one thing that we could have made that might have sold, or somebody liked it but it just wasn't quite right. So as much as possible, and this is where it's we come back to, before your first vending event, whether it's a craft show or a convention or like a church bazaar or an art walk or anything like that, do a mock setup of your display. Like set your table up, set your displays up, put your jewelry out, and then see if you have anything in back stock, because you can only sell as much as you bring. And never in the history of ever, short of people getting their inventory stolen, which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, you never sell out of your inventory. Like Randy and I typically, like, we try to bring $10,000 to $15,000 worth of inventory. That if we were to sell every single piece that we have made, we'd be making 10 to 15,000. It's never happened, but it might. Like, never hurts to be prepared. And a lot of the times, like, we'll do a show and maybe make $1,000. Shows are not what they used to be. But with that much stuff that we're bringing, we only sell a very little bit of it, and that depends entirely on the show. But it's that inventory doesn't go bad. I hope that answered your question, Susan. Carol says, me and Becky haven't seen Lauren on. Is she okay? We were wondering. Lauren's been doing pretty good. She's just been very busy with work and with spring, and it's she's following her heart and what she's doing and getting stuff done. And I don't know. I can't speak for her, but she is okay. She's doing great. She's still awesome. So we'll actually hopefully be going down and hanging out with her and Zach in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be really cool. Okay, I'm gonna open the next package while Randy accumulates more questions. You good, babe?
Yep.
Okie doke. Agate Queen asked, how long did it take to build your business to what it is now? Literally 10 years. Every day for 10 years. And I feel like even now, and I don't know if this is my own, like me just pressuring myself. Gosh, this one smells good too. Why does all this stuff smell so good? I don't know if it's just me pressuring myself, but I feel like even if I take a day off, oh no, the ring got stuck in there. I feel like things might start slipping. Like, I'm super paranoid about taking a day off. And so it's every day without a day off for 10 years. And that's our YouTube presence has really helped our business, which is very fortunate. And I don't know if we're, like, conventions for us are not as profitable as what they used to be. Just because everybody, like, when we first started doing conventions, a 6-foot table was $80. Like, to set up to vend at the event was $80. And now I don't think there's a single place that we've set up to vend at that's like $300 to $500 is the minimum of what we're paying for, like, 10 by 10 booths, which granted it's a 10 by 10 booth, but they still only give you one table to put in it. So, but you bring your own tables and stuff. But it's just, the market has changed a lot, but I'm really glad that Randy and I started putting effort into, YouTube, because it revived the passion for what we were doing, made it a little bit less gotta make stuff, gotta make sales, gotta make money, and more learning and teaching. And it's a much more positive environment, I think, than just focusing on the almighty dollar, if that makes sense. And it gives us a little bit of stability and diversity that we can keep our heads above water, even if, like, conventions aren't what we needed them to be. Oh my gosh, this does smell so good. Okay, so woo, dog jump out. Okay, so first off, heck yes. Oh god. Okay, they're closed on the end. Incense. It's gonna smell less like parts of my house. Ooh, thank you, Jim. Fully cooked pork sausage links. Oh, it says glitter on it. I was like, a man after my own heart. He knows exactly what I need in life. And that is fully cooked pork sausage links. Hey, Agate. You guys are really inspiring things. Yeah, well, for sure. Okay, this is glitter. So he sent me a box of herpes, but it's beautiful herpes. Ooh.
Nice.
What?
Jim. Oh, yeah, that's what I sent.
Jim. These are going to be perfect. They're the cellophane, like, opal flakes. Ooh, okay. Randy, oh gosh, one of them spilled. It's almost a glitter bomb. Ooh, some sage. So I can smudge myself. Jim sent you, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah. Yeah.
Sausage and Emily?
Yep. Ooh,
Jim.
bunches of Full Metal Alchemist. Fleet of Doom, Voltron. Woo, woo. Blame? I haven't heard of that. And then I haven't heard of that either. From the director of Sailor Moon, though. Thank you so much, Jim. These are fantastic.
Wow, it's got
Jim always sends the most
glitter
thoughtful gifts.
everywhere.
I know, yeah, I'm basically covered. Thank you, Jim. No, seriously though, thank you so much. Let's light some stuff on fire, y'all. I'm gonna go through those beads a little bit more privately. Probably not to be weird, but without clothes on, that way I can just wash the glitter off. Because there's glitter, like one of them popped, I think. Yep, nope, this is just, oh man, it's everywhere. And everything. I'm sorry, Brandy's like looking at his hands like, oh god.
It doesn't come off.
Okay, I've been missing some comments, so let me get catch up. Great Lakes had said you should make that a poster. Do what your heart desires, but get shit done. For sure. I really think that's yeah, it was a little bit of a glitter bomb, Jim, but thank you. I still really appreciate it. What do you do when you run out of wire to make more jewelry and no money to get some at the moment? Susan, that is why I save all of my scrap, because like my dragon eyes that I started doing, those were a direct result of we were out of cabochons, we were out of like money, we couldn't buy more materials, and I was like, I need something. And but I had a can of glow in the dark spray paint, some pink and yellow and like color shift teal nail polishes. Those were all I had. And some fish tank glass from like the dollar store that I picked out of my house plants and stuff, as well as some like misshapen glass cabs from Fire Mountain Gems. That's what I painted my very first dragon eyes out of, because I just needed something to make for in my booth. And it grew into, there's no telling what might come out of being in a pinch like that. So I save all of my scrap wire, and just kind of, it's almost like making cupboard soup at the end of the month. Like anybody else who's ever done that, like the struggle's real, hey. But you got to get creative with what you've got there at the end of the month and try to make it taste good or at least palatable. And so at the end of the supplies, which fortunately y'all kept me flush in supplies for a good minute, but you just kind of look at what you have and be like, well, maybe this will work. And there's no telling what you can make out of a bunch of little bits of scrap wire. But yeah, Lannis, that's a really good idea to use electrical wires. It's way in the walls. Yeah, please don't steal abandoned buildings electrical wire for your jewelry. Like you can do it, you'll be okay. Don't trespass or do anything illegal for your jewelry addiction. Anne says, hello, I really enjoyed your shows. Thanks so much, by the way. This isn't flirtatious, you have gorgeous skin. Oh, well, thanks, Anne. I would make a fantastic jacket. I'm just saying, like. But no, thank you. I've been avoiding the sun like the plague, and I'm actually super shiny today because I have sunblock on. Like I used spray sunblock. But thank you. Sage Brush, hey Sage, says, I did a show this last weekend and was invited to their next show. Almost $400 space fee for a 10 by 20 and only did 1K. Ooh, what is your profit criteria to continue or drop a show? Oops, my 1K was not enough. Okay, that's a really good question, because typically it costs Randy and I, after travel, food, hotel, and booth, we just presume, unless it's Dragon Con and it's even more expensive, it's going to cost us at least $1,000 to vend. Just to be there, it's costing us $1,000. If we do not make more than 2K at that show, now that's like, we've spent $1,000, so we made $1,000 with the sales and we made $1,000 more. That's not including like what we're going to have to turn around and put back into, like, there's a word for it that's an accounting term that I can't remember. I can't remember if it's like net or gross or what, but it's before factoring in all of the expenses, we have to make $2,000 in sales before we will even consider going back, because there's so many shows to choose from that it's like, maybe, you need a fresh audience. Maybe it just wasn't a good weekend. A lot of the times we'll do a show and we're like, I don't get it. It was really good last year. And then it turns out that they like somebody else started a show and it was like the weekend prior. So, you know, it's like, so it's really difficult to, yeah, the gross profit. It's, if we don't break even, we don't go back unless we've done that show for a long time and we're like, okay, this was an off year. If we don't break even for 2 years in a row, we seriously start looking at it and being like, do we cut our losses? Because there's some shows that it's like, yeah, we just don't do them anymore. As much as we loved the organizer, as much as we loved the people, like, we cannot afford to come back. And that's Vision Con was one of those shows for us. And as close as it is, it's only like an hour away. But we did the show for 3 years, and for 3 years consistently we did not break even. And we were like, this is ridiculous. Like, but yeah, we were really fortunate that we didn't drive too far for that. But we love the crowd over there. They're basically our local nerds. Like, so that's why we just attended Branson Con. We're like, well, it's a day's, like, we can go there and come back in the same day. Let's just go have fun and hang out. Coffee is good, you guys. I like it. I'm not addicted, but maybe. It's all right. I can dig it. Okay. Sorry. So, I don't know, Sage. That's a really hard, do you give an event a second or third try before giving up on it? It depends, Amber. Like, there's some shows that it's like we want it to work, so we'll keep going back. And then there's other ones that it could be the first time us being there, and if it just rubs us the wrong way and we're like, no, we're not coming back to this, then it's, don't feel like as a vendor, yes, we are replaceable, but so is the convention. We don't have to vend their event. You don't have to vend somebody's event. So don't ever let organizers or like dealers room heads or anything ever treat you that you're expendable, because it's like, you are too, though, convention, that, you know, there's literally, what was the last number we looked up, Randy? It was at least over 700 conventions in the continental US. That's 2 a weekend. Well, that's 2 a day. If they had them every single day, and they have them only on the weekends typically. And it's like, don't get down. It's, you paid your money and you showed up. It was that convention's responsibility, or that craft show's responsibility. Sometimes you can't help it if it rains. Just shake a chicken or something, like, and hope for the best if it's an outdoor event. But if you attend a convention or an indoor craft show, it is their responsibility to market, to sell tickets, to do whatever it takes to get potential clients into the building. And so you held up your end of the bargain. You paid your booth fee, you showed up, you're doing your best, and they dropped the ball on that one. And Randy and I try to be really understanding whenever we go to convention. Yeah, just, you know, for good luck, I'll try anything. Shake a chicken, you know, eat some KFC. That's voodoo, right? Like, I probably just offended all of my voodoo followers.
Keep talking, I'm gonna have to eat.
I'm gonna have to eat every chicken in this room. But it's my equivalent of saying pray. Like, light a candle, pray, shake a chicken, do whatever you gotta do to make sure it does not rain on that outdoor craft show. Yep. Man. I giggled myself off of my soapbox. I can't remember what I was talking about anymore. But yeah, just, that's what it was. It's not your fault if the convention didn't market well enough. And Randy and I do try to be very understanding of that, because there are so many conventions going on now. But you know a well-run show when you see one. And that's, if there's conventions that we're like, this has been a well-run show every year that we're here, this is just an off year, yeah, we will stay on that ship even if it feels like it's sinking, because I have faith in the organizers that they'll, you know, we'll all bail out the ship together and do well. So, but yeah, if you have a convention that's treating you like you cabbage, the cabbage too was the gist of that one. Sorry, I kind of ranted a bit. How do I live without you? I have a song in my heart, honey. I need a minute. How do I? Oh, okay. Oh, how do I? Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, Lisa says, can we make some super simple wire earrings today? I'm trying to get some inventory built up and I suck at simple. Yes, we will make scrap wire and bead earrings. So all you need is 2 beads and like this much scrap wire. They don't even have to be, well, matching will help, but they don't have to be connected to start with, I guess is the point. But we will do that in just a sec. Sage says, that is what I am struggling with. We covered all expenses and came out about $400 ahead, but I want to be part of this traveling show. But, and honestly, 400 ahead isn't that bad. Like, I'm not going to lie. Randy and I, we're never going to be rich off of doing the convention circuit. We're basically nerd carnies. Like, it's just, we have to diversify into, we also have our online store, which is, other than posting fees for Etsy and stuff, we don't have to pay a booth fee, we don't have no travel expenses, but going to the shows increases awareness of our social media pages and our Etsy store. In that way, by doing the shows, even if we don't make a lot of profit at the convention, it will increase the profit on our Etsy store. So it's like it's thimbles in a rainstorm. We're doing a little bit of work here and a little bit of work here and a little bit of work there on like our social media and YouTube and stuff, and trying to like do SEO stuff, whatever that is, on Instagram. It all is they're all cogs in this wheel that is the machine that's us trying to pay our bills and do art, because I like making stuff. So honestly, in today's convention climate, 400 profit is not bad. But you know your bills and your budget and your time expense better than anybody. And if you made $400 but you feel dead inside, take that into account. Leave the chickens alone. I'm sorry, Ida. Amber says, oh wait, I missed a question. Tracy asked, who takes care of your animals when you're at a show? We are very fortunate that we have some local friends that we met at a craft show and just clicked. Like, they were just walking through like with their daughter, and we started talking to them because we raise rabbits and their daughter does like 4-H and stuff and all kinds of we just instant got along perfectly, and we started hanging out more, and like now we do holidays over at their house, but basically they and their daughters will come over and house sit for us. That way the house isn't empty, the dogs aren't freaking out and chewing their butts off. But man, if we had to pay boarding fees every time we traveled, that would have done us in. Like, we would not have been able to afford that. Amber asks, what's the farthest you guys go to an event, like our travel time? 24 hours was the farthest we had driven to go.
We still didn't make it to California.
And we still didn't make it to California. That's how far it was to drive. But to go to Phoenix, Arizona, which was beautiful. Is it like we went with some vendor friends, like we were helping them in their booth, and so they picked us up along the way and then kept going, and we made it like a little family vacation kind of, that we just worked for 3 days out of. But it was really fun. But that's the longest. But prior to that, Randy had driven us 17 hours in one day to go up to Baltimore, Maryland. And then it wasn't supposed to be 17 hours, but it ended up being like 17 or 18 on our way down to Tampa, Florida, because just traffic. And because of that, we didn't get to see the ocean. We were in Tampa. It's shameful, I know, but I've never seen the ocean. I know it's been a while. Oh, hey, Sherry. Oh crap, I missed a bunch of questions. Okay. Rachel says, does every con or fair require you to have a business license? In 10 years, we've never had anybody ask us for a business license.
Twice.
Like, twice?
Bell buckle and
Like OhioCon?
yeah.
Yeah, twice. But they didn't have, they asked for a business license, which we had, but we didn't have the local vending permit. And so, like, 2 shows out of 30 shows a year for 10 years, like 2 out of 300, just easy math. Though in Phoenix, some towns now that, if events like this are getting to be like more commonplace, are starting to push for vending permits, but a lot of the conventions will just include that in their booth fees, and that way they kind of just take care of it for you because they already have your info from registering for the booth. But just having a business license, like for your state, or like FIN, whatever that is. I don't know, some other tax thing that we had to do. Those will get you wherever you need to go. For the most part, I'm only pretending to be a professional. I don't actually know what I'm doing. So Google it, find out what you need for what you're doing, and follow that way beyond my advice because I'm just flailing around. So, okay. Susan says they don't have anyone here that makes jewelry where I am at, so it has me wondering. What's that? Has you wondering what, Susan? Oh. Gotcha, Susan. Sherry says, I know it's been a while since I have been here. Hey, Sherry. But I have great news. I've started my business making bath bombs. Ooh, right on. Ooh, what's the link? Because I like bath bombs. Thomas Swanson says, do you do or thinking about doing the free shipping Etsy is pushing? We do not. We charge it, like, when it comes to free shipping, I know that for a lot of people that's make or break. But whenever we ship internationally, it costs like $13, like starting. Like for us to send a 2-ounce package to Australia is $13. And we have our stuff priced so low already that it's like this is not a necessity item. We do giveaways and stuff, so if people really want our stuff but it's really out of their budget, they can still participate in our giveaways. But we don't do the free shipping because we can't afford it. I know it's a sales incentive, but I'm like, that's one sales incentive that I don't participate in too much, just because like we start seriously losing money on that. Patricia says, I'm thinking of going to Etsy. Is it still worth it? Like any kind of platform that you're selling through, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or Shopify or Artfire or Etsy, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And so a lot of it takes yeah, Catherine, that's on the craft along kits on Patreon. We don't charge you guys shipping. That's part of the benefit of being a monthly pledger is we eat the shipping and we send you the package. So that's why another reason we cannot do that on Etsy. So you got to pay the shipping over there. Yeah, it's in a nutshell. I think Etsy is great. They're very consistent. Periodically, like some weird stuff will happen and like people will be very unhappy, but in the long time that we've had Etsy stores, Randy and I've had great experiences with them, but it really helps to also utilize social media for marketing and spreading word about your company and your business and the products that you have and stuff. So it's yeah, I'd recommend it, but it takes a lot of work and it's really slow going to get that ball rolling. But once that ball gets rolling, it's rolling. Lori says, I ran all the way here. How late am I? Pretty late, Lori, but we're still gonna hang out. I've got some earrings to make that I wanted to hang out with y'all while I made them. Ooh, Amzy, that's a good one. Amzy says, what have been some of the hardest lessons you've learned in your 10 years of business? What are the best pieces of advice you could give some of us who are starting out? The hardest lesson that I've learned in having our own business is to not let finances affect our personal relationship between Randy and I, because we work so closely together. We have to be able to set moments aside where we can be just Randy and Yvonne again. We're not Back to Earth Creations. We're not our YouTube channels. We're not like, we're just two people who still love each other in the midst of everything. But aside from that, the hardest thing has been to things are most uncomfortable and most challenging and most difficult right before a breakthrough. And so you have to be willing and have a bit of faith to push through those rough spots of sales have not been going well for 5 weekends in a row. And it's like a couple years ago, Randy and I had 9 shows back to back, like 9 weekends booked solid. We were home maybe 2 days in 9 weeks, just because we were on the road so much. And at the end of those 9 weeks, we didn't have any more money than what we had started with. We basically just cycled through because some of the shows would be good and some of them we lost our ass at. And it was a mess. But we had learned by then, we're like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming. Oh no, it's the mailman. But come here, puppers. Oh, my doggy. Come on. Leave that mailman alone. Thank you. Oh, for warning us all. But yeah, it's to just to not fret and feel, because it'll feel like failure, like you'll be feel just overwhelmed, like drowning in failure, and you'll feel like, well, I don't want to quit because that's failing, and it's like sometimes something's got to give, something's got to change. It's okay to change the face of your business, to shift your dynamic, because it's, especially doing something for a decade, I'm a very different person now than what I was 10 years ago, and that's okay. It's okay to shift your business. And that's whenever we were making the transition from doing 30 some odd shows a year to doing 6, but focusing on daily, at the time, daily tutorials on YouTube, and even here recently, cutting back from daily tutorials on YouTube. At every transition, I felt like I was a failure, that I had failed at what I was doing, and that I had let people down, and that it was, I couldn't do it, and that's,
Dang,
what's up?
we could pay 3 times as much for internet.
What? Oh wow. Yeah, shred it. Shred it and recycle. But no, I felt like I was failing. And then to come, like, you have to have a winter before you can have a spring. Sometimes you have to let something fall away to the wayside so that you can do your next passion project, that your heart's bursting with energy and enthusiasm, and it makes it new again. But it's so hard to let go during the fall and into the winter so that you can have your spring again. And that was the hardest thing, was realizing that not everything's always going to be more profit, like it's not always just yay, everything's like, you're gonna have pitfalls, be like, oh, like the van broke down, what the heck, like, all of these unanticipated things, and the market's dipping in different ways, but you gotta stay on your toes and roll with the punches and just keep swimming. Right on, Mary. Yeah, and it's not just for jewelry, it's for every business too. I'm sure that these things, yep, no rainbows without rain, and it takes some storms to help you blossom and bloom, like it does. Hey Angie. Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, so let's get, I think I've got,
I'd say the best piece of advice we could give is take pride in your work and don't let others tell you how much it's worth.
yeah. If you couldn't hear him, Randy says take pride in your work and don't let other people tell you what it's worth. And that's very true, because if you don't establish and set your value, somebody else will. And I can guarantee you they're going to undersell you. Like, so, just because it's a slow show, don't sell something for less than what you feel like you need to. Like, keep going with it. Like, because that same jewelry piece that you're like, oh, well, it was 40, but I could sell it for 20. It'll sell for 40 next weekend. And you'll do great. And it just, anytime that you feel somebody crushing that in you, like pushing you and stuff, like just push right back. Like, because there's nothing ickier than feeling like I should have sold that for that. Like meh. So excellent question though, Amzi. Thank you. Oh, well, thanks, Elise. Okay. On Etsy, you can offer free shipping only to the US. Well, I didn't know that. Right on. I might have to try that then. That definitely alters our perspective, because we do a lot of international sales on our Etsy, like disproportionately, like a lot, like half of our sales are international. I'm like, right on. But I feel so bad having to charge people for the shipping. What type of wiring do you use for your jewelry? I use 100% Parawire for the most part. Like if I've got wire, you can bet it's Parawire, just because the price is right, the quality is unbeatable. That is not a paid promotion. I just really like their stuff. Sherry says, going to a high tea on the 27th, and Wendy will be there, but I'll make sure to send you some bath bombs. Ooh, since you look so excited, just made an orange cream icicle and strawberry. Are they edible? Because that sounds delicious. Ugh. Catherine says, advice is doing commissions. Make sure you get at least half the cost. Yeah, for sure. And oftentimes, whenever we take commission work now, we require half payment up front. That's just how it is, because that way it's at least covering the materials. The entire cost of materials. Laura says, thank you for that concept on staying positive and remembering to separate yourself and partner from the business sometimes and just be yourself together. And even now, Laura, after all this time, that's still the hardest thing. But don't let having a rough weekend, like show weekend, come Monday, you're at home. It's, like leave that bad show at the bad show. Learn from it, but then move on. Okay, let's make jewelry. It's only been like, what, an hour and a half? So we're gonna get this flipped around. No, flip around. Okay, there we go. Yep. So, first off, I'm gonna have to set some of this on fire. How do I even get it open? Gosh, just reminds me when I worked at the Moon Willow. This smell. I'm gonna have to find some place to burn it. I'm gonna have to make a little fairy incense burner, I do think. Huh? Open your bra, please. Joke's on you. I'm free range. I don't wear bras. I'm like, these chickens get to wander where they want. Carol, for coloring, where's a lighter that's not a torch? For staining leather so that it doesn't water spot, I do neat's foot oil, as well as free the tatas, as well as like super sheen or satin sheen, the acrylic seal, and then that way it just kind of buffs right off. Yeah, next tutorial, fairy incense burner for sure. Okay, so let me get these sorted out. We are going to make some earrings. So everybody who wants to craft, let's find 2 beads, probably like a 10 millimeter. If you got it, doesn't gotta be any particular shape though, really. Like an 18 millimeter would be great though. Ooh, I'm feeling this color today. Maybe, except for, yeah, we'll do this one. Or, nope, that's the wrong bin. Let's do these bad boys because they match. Nope, those 2 don't match. These are dyed marcasite, but I think it's really great. Ooh, that was almost bad. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty now. I need a minute. Oh, gravity. My heart just went up in my throat. I almost died. Like, oh man. Here we see a free-range fawn in her natural habitat. Right? I am just, oh my gosh. Instant boobs. Like, so nervous. I do, Beverly. Usually, in the past, I've varnished my fairy houses and stuff with, oh, words escaped me. PIM, P-Y-M, and then the Roman numeral for 2. But it's been a minute since that's been in production. What's up, honey? Oh, you just coming in here? I love your face. No, don't go. Oh, well, that was nice while it lasted. Okay, so these guys, we're going to do a couple pairs. These ones here have, yeah, right? Right? I had torched the ends so that they were like bald head pins. But we're going to do something with just plain bare wire for now. I'm looking for an 18 gauge. Let's see. Oh gosh. Oh no. It's spilling everywhere. I don't know why, but I have this one really long piece of correction, these 2 really long pieces. Mercy. Come on. There we go. This is silver plated silver parawire. Beep boop. Do, 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 do. And they are 18 gauge and they're not the same length, but that's going to be okay.
Give me an A.
A.
No, on your questions.
Oh, okay. Hey Randy, could you bring me my new wire snips off the big table, please? Did you hear that bead tray almost spill?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah. I'll show them that in a minute.
Oh, you're going to show them this monstrosity?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it fell over on me earlier.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Is that while I was outside?
Yep.
Is that why half the stuff is not all?
Yeah, well, what happened is my yoga mat fell over, and then it knocked that over, and then I tried to save it, but I wasn't quick enough. No, it was my yoga mat's fault. Can I have those wire snips, please? Come on, I'm super lazy. Don't make me get up. My beautiful love.
Fix this mess.
No. Sorry, guys. I'm pathetic. Oh, I haven't lit the incense, Lori, because I couldn't find a lighter other than a butane torch, and I think that's overkill. Ah, thank you, Boogie. These? Yes. Thank you so much, honey. He does so much for me. Okay. I do, yeah. But I can still show him. Anybody who hangs around this late in a live stream deserves some sneaky peekies. Do what?
Is it even worth showing at that point?
Yes. Well, because I'm just going to talk about it a bit. Okay, so these are... right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 inches long.
You're 7 inches long.
I'm too lazy. Don't make me get up on her shirt. Yeah, for reals. Do what, Randy?
What?
Did you just say I'm 7 inches?
Yes.
Like, what the crap? What does that even mean? I mean, I'll take it, but... Okay. So you could use round nose pliers or a pen or something. Like, I'm just winging this. We're going to start by making the loop that the ear wire will be attaching to. And I want these to be able to mirror each other. So, well, you know, stay tuned. Find out more. Do not underestimate how much I appreciate y'all hanging out. Okay, so to make this mirror imaged, yeah, I'm going to slide this one around on the top. Yes, this is 18 gauge. Ooh, Jim, that would have been awesome. I love the sage, I really do. Okay, because I want it a little off-center. And so now we can go ahead and just thread the bead on and see what happens. So now you can see the wires exiting on the back side here. And so I'm just going to wrap around just once. Oh, my hands are all sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. Carbs are the devil. Not really. I love carbohydrates. Okay. So now that I've done that little bit, I'm going to try to do that same exact thing on the other side because I found that's the key to feigning symmetry. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cough in your ear. So again, this one's exiting on the bottom, so we're going to bring it around onto the top side of the wire, just like that. Right on, Kelly. Well, you're all fixed now? Okay, so there we are. Those are by the boys. Give me a sign, I'll do anything to make it mine. Okay, so now I'm going to come a finger width out from here. I'm going to do the itty bitty spider thing to make just a little twist. And then before going much further, I'm going to try to do that thing on the other side. But how do I get it to be, excuse me, the other direction? Oof. Some yoga for the brain, I think. Haha! Have at thee. Oh, but it's way too up high. Oof. That's okay, though. No, it's not. Okay. So to undo it, we're going to bring that back around. Right on. I've read that too, Erin. My problem is I'll just eat like a bucket of carbs. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of carb it is. I have a bucket. Okay. Oh, now how did I do that? I did that on my thumb. So getting the height for me is pretty hard. It's kind of close. Let's just pretend sisters, not twins, right? Ooh, that would be an idea. Well, I'm going for a really tight organic spiral. So we're just going to have a little Bring it around like that. I don't know if y'all can hear the birds over. We've got like some fans going because it's quite warm. And then here are, I'm going to use, let's make sure the length of these guys is the same before I go a snipping. Glad I checked because they're not the same length. Well, that's lost to the ages. I'll probably find it with a barefoot later. Hey, my love. How you doing?
Finish those trellises today too.
Yeah. Busy yard work, especially with storms coming in tomorrow. Okay, so now from here, I want it wide at the base, like more teardroppy. So I'm just bringing it around. Just like that. And like, I started these, oh, you know, that would have been really pretty too. You could do it below or above the bead, just depending. Let's see which one we like better. I can really see that lifting off, but that looks really nice. Like, it's an idea. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the curves to match, so that's when I come in and just start straightening the wire out and like curving it just to kind of start over. Anne says, where do you get your ideas for making jewelry? Honestly, I'm really inspired by y'all. Like seeing y'all's work and different concepts and things. I'm very inspired by nature a lot of the time, like the natural like vining of things. But I feel like there's not a thing in this world that I've done that's not in some way influenced by other artisans. So y'all, first and foremost, are my biggest inspirations. So there we have. I don't really sell like tutorials. I try to keep them all free here on YouTube. But I do have some written tutorials that go in conjunction in conjunction with the videos, but I do have some written tutorials for like craft along kits that have the video kind of spelled out. Yeah, right, Erin? And that's a really good point, is we don't work in a vacuum. Nime asks, hey Nime, I'm trying to understand the different types of wire. Why is silver-plated silver? If it's already silver, do they mean the color, not the metal? Okay, so as far as I understand it, and anybody please correct me if I'm wrong, but with the para wire, you can see, now it's kind of scuffed up a bit, but it says silver-plated silver. And the way that I understand that is it's copper core that's been silver-plated, but then covered again with a silver enamel. And it just gives it a truer, bright silver color. And same thing goes for the titanium. It's silver plated and then covered with a titanium finish. And just, I think that silver plating gives it a truer silver color, because otherwise the copper tones will show through. Again, I could be quite possibly very, very wrong. So just making some little loops here, just at the top of that. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, right on. Maria says, believe it or not, I was inspired by bridges in New York, right? That's awesome. Okay, so here are our earrings that we just made. Yeah, I'll see if I can't do that and like make a tutorial, like an actual proper video. That way, you know, it's not blurry, and hopefully it'll be like in frame. Gotcha. Yeah, Sage says silver plated is a very thin layer of silver over copper. Silver filled is a much thicker layer of silver over a thin copper. Is there a special flattener for the polymer clay, or can I just use a pasta machine? Does it need to be electric or hand crank? Susan, yeah, pasta machines work great for the polymer clay. Oh, do you guys want me to post these up for sale on my Etsy? But yeah, pasta machine. I actually prefer a hand crank because it gives me a little bit more control over paying attention to how it's spreading. I can stop mid crank if I need to and kind of reposition things. Oop, there's the ice cream truck. And now let's go ahead and make some ear hooks. Now this is 20 gauge parawire. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do like 3 finger lengths. And this is where these bad boys come in super duper handy. So we are going to bend that around and then come here and bend, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to go out of frame, bend that around. And that didn't really give us a big loop, but that's okay. So I'm just going to shorten that down just a little bit. Not a really well shaped one, but I'll show you guys what we're going to do here in a sec. Ooh, right on. Recently tried Parawire Solid Faux Gold and loved it. Nice. Yeah, no, it's the ice cream truck. Like once school's let out, all day, every day, it feels like just endless. They just loop our neighborhood. And I want just a little bit more of a curve because otherwise these poke me in like the back of my ear. And then I'm just going to open it up a little bit more. So I like the shaping a little better on that one.
You got questions? Oh,
do I? Well, here, let me wax some stuff. Will you light this on fire and put it in the incense box? Thank you. Thank you, my love. Oh my god, there's glitter everywhere. Do what, honey?
Did you hear butane torch?
No, not my butane torch. If I were gonna do that, I would have done it. Is he farting in his own mouth again? Oh, my sweet little love. Okay. So I'm getting the camera. Bye, Allison. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Here we are. Oh, also, we did send out Patreon craft crates, but we do have a few left over to up for sale on our Etsy shop. So if you want a craft along kit for this month, but weren't able to get signed up on Patreon in time, or you just don't do the Patreon thing, we do have those for sale over there. So here we are with these bad boys, and I'm going to whack it a bunch with this hammer. Just hit it till you're happy. So I'm going to try to get a little bit better of an angle. Hey, that stuff smells so good. I love that smell.
Smell my hands.
Wait. Hey, Randy. Could you set this in the kitchen for me? Holly sent me plants.
Okay. It's grass.
Yeah, I love it. Don't look at me like that. So to keep my fingers out of the way, I'm just going to use a bit of this tape. And I'm going to start by, I only really need the loop, like the part that's going through the ears, to be hardened. So I'm just going to come in here and take that bit down and then tape. That actually looked pretty cool, honey.
No, I didn't.
Well, that's all right. I liked it. Okay, so there we are. Let me check and make sure the camera angle. Yeah. Oh man, it feels good to be. I love this metalworking desk because I can stand at it also. So I'm going to go through with the nylon head. Let's get in from the other side. And I'm just going to now for ear hooks, I do prefer to keep them round as opposed to hammering them flat, but we'll get there. Now, what this is doing is it's actually compressing the molecules of the metal. And at least, again, that's how I understand it. The cats on the internet said that it's compressing the molecules of the metal and making it denser and harder. So that's the work hardening. Okay, so now you can see that's much less inclined to bend the way that it had been. But I am going to go through and I want to try maybe seeing what happens. These were an experimental pair, so for the sake of science, I'll beat mine. That way you don't have to beat your... God, that just sounds weird. I'm going to hammer it. That way if it doesn't work out, you won't ruin yours seeing if it works. What? Yeah. I'm not going to hammer those ones, but I do want to hammer just to flatten to see. And so that way we were able to get just a little bit of spreading on that metal. So now we can see the before and the after. It just gets a very different look. I like to work harden it a bit with the nylon first on the spirals. That way it kind of holds them in place better, but you're going to get a better spread if you don't work harden it first. You want to start with a very, very soft. The softer your metal when you start, the more spread you're going to get on it. There we are. And now that we've done that, I'm going to go through and try to not whack my finger, but I'm going to flatten just the loop part. Now you can see as we flatten it, it distorts and opened the loop, but we'll be able to go through and fix that. Come on, give me a focus. Do me a focus. There we are. So that's it before and after the hammering. Cool. So now let's get this moved back over to our main workbench. There we are. Now this is when I come in. You can use whatever pliers that you like, but I really like my bent loose. And I'm just going to hook it on there. And then just like closing a jump ring, I'm going to bring that in just like that. So there's one earring. Now this one, that loop's kind of in the way a little bit. I'm just going to hook it through. You could hook it through both if you wanted. Now, just a point. For anyone with long hair who's active or who has children, I don't do wrapped ear loops. Because if this gets tugged on and if it's stuck in your ear, I would rather this part here be the sensitive breaking point than your ear. So that's something that's actually come up in whenever we make chainmail like bracelets and stuff. We had some folks who wanted custom pieces done entirely out of stainless steel or entirely out of titanium. And I'm like, look, in that heavy of a gauge, you've got to have an easy break point on it, because otherwise if you get it caught in machinery or snagged on something, you're going to really be hurting your wrist. I do free repairs on all of our work, and I would very much rather you have lost an earring or me have to fix an earring than you get your earlobe torn out. So, or your wrist. What?
You mumbling in there.
I know. Well, I mean, I feel like this is an important point that. Oh, sorry. But so that's something that I keep in mind when I'm designing jewelry. Some people are like, no, I want it completely solid, and I'm like, I'm okay with it being a little less than perfectly solid, just in case, you know, something happens. So it can be a bit dark and morbid, but such is life. Okay, so we're gonna get this turned around. I'm gonna try on these earrings. I might actually keep them for me and then make more pairs for sale on Etsy or in the booth. So I'm gonna take out the little silver hoops. The wire that I used for the ear hooks was 20 gauge titanium silver plated parawire. So it's copper core, but it's been enameled. Oh my god, seriously, Randy? I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore. Yeah, it's enameled, but even I have very acidic skin that like normally will eat through enameling, and it doesn't with parawire. Yes, Aaron, I will definitely do a sorry, trying to
You got questions piled up.
okay, let me put my earrings in and then I'll answer questions. Ooh, I love them. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely gonna have to make more of these. You guys are a hoot. Yeah, for sure, Greta. And that's something that people don't really think about. But it's you don't want your stuff to feel cheaply made, but you also don't want to be ripping people's earlobes out. Oh, I love them. I honestly, for myself, would have made them in copper, just because that's my mood today. But I do love them with the silver too. So, yeah, actually, guys, I went through and tried something new with eyeliner today. I don't know if you can tell, but they did like teal. I don't know. I felt fancy. Bye, Beverly. The hammering on ear hook doesn't make them sharp. No, you could go through with a bead. Anik actually sent me one. Here we are. You could use one of these on the tip of the wire that goes through your ear, but I haven't had any problem with it really. So, but or you could use like a file. This is like a little thing that has a cupped tip that you put it like on the end of the wire, like this, and kind of, it's like a little cup file, and it just rounds down the tip. But I found it's also just as effective to use a file. Hey, Sarah.
Alabama man.
Alabama man. Okay, we have a cup burr. That's what they're called. We have questions piled up, so let me come through. And figure out how to open my tablet. I need to find my hand fan. I've got one somewhere because it is hot in here. Okay, where is the best place to get in touch with you with questions on how you do certain items? Here in the live streams or over on our Discord, or you can also contact me on Patreon on the community page. But it really helps to be able to post pictures of what you're asking about, just to kind of help me, kind of see what you're seeing. Sherry says, we are going to be getting our own house and found out that the house qualifies for a USDA loan. Right on, that's cool. I read something that said if you've protein, okay, with carbs. Oh, I am so far behind. Love those earrings. Can you clip that part out of the live stream and we post so? Christy and I will be doing a tutorial on them. Hey, Aaron. Oh, I was gonna say Aaron's hubby. Hey, Ray. Ray and Carmen. That is called, Catherine, that is a jeweler's block, and I really recommend. It's like $20 on Amazon, I think. There's a link down in the video description that you can click on, and it'll take you to all of my most recommended tools for leatherworking, resin, metal, like wire wrapping, all sorts of different things. But I love the rubber bottom because it's not as loud as it could be, and you always have the option of flipping it over and just kind of work hardening without flattening it out, like even hardly a bit. So it's nice to have that rubber side too. There's a way to keep your block from getting rusted. Oh, is there? Probably I could use like any kind of like metal lubricant or something on it, I'm sure, but I don't mind a good rusty block. Greta, I had used 20 gauge for the ear hooks. Right on, Aaron. Okay, so I'm all caught up on questions. I like doing the 2-hour long live streams. I really do. We don't always have the time for it, but like it feels a little bit more complete. I think, than just busting out an hour. Like, we actually have time to craft in the 2 hour long ones. Sometimes, maybe. But yeah, stay tuned for more tutorials coming. Oh yeah, I gotta show you guys a thing before we go. Gosh, Randy, thank you so much. I'd completely forgotten. Let me get this tripod extended out the rest of the way. But yeah, just for those of y'all who are interested, this is what my nest looks like. Yeah, so everybody who comments, oh, your skin looks so nice. It's because I've got beauty rings and fill lights and all kinds of crap to make it look like I have a jawline. Like, I don't have sun damage and fine line wrinkles. Like, it's like, no, yep, I am a humanoid as well. I promise. Ish. But yeah, that's my little nest. Nest. Okay, so Randy and I have been working on new displays. For those of y'all who follow along with us on Patreon, you kind of saw some sneaky peekies. I love the ring light. Oh, it'll cook the flesh off your face, like just like wrong, like the Ark of the Covenant. It'll melt your face. Now, not from heat though.
What?
But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
But it is so bright that it's. But here you can see this is what we use.
Okay, that's the wrong way. Oh, it's up a way.
Yeah. So this is whenever we're set up in our booth. There's chickens in the driveway. I just heard them.
Yeah.
Kicking. Okay. We use these grid walls that we got from Store Supply Warehouse. And then the newest thing that we're doing is I needed a way to be able to display our little like antler headdresses in a way that wasn't making us have to bring a bunch of styrofoam heads, because those are very bulky, very fragile, just bulky more than anything. So what we did,
the styrofoam heads are great, but once they get battle scarred,
they just look jank. So what we did is we have these hat displays, and then we velcroed on these plastic bowls because we needed something that would be able to, you know, like collapse down. And so it just, the Velcro comes off, so all the bowls will be able to stack inside of each other, and then it's just this wire bit. So that's how we're doing our flower headdresses. And also, too, it gives us the option that if we just wanted to display like a hat with a hat band or like a helmet or something, we can do that also. But the biggest challenge with all of this stuff is keeping it compactable, where it can like collapse down together. And then also, we've been working on, let me clear a spot for this one. You alright, babe?
Mm-hmm.
It was just a big sigh.
No, I'm not sleepy.
Oh, are you?
You're sleepy.
I know, I slept terribly last night. I don't know why, I couldn't get to sleep till like 6 in the morning.
Oh, I thought that was empty.
Nope. It was from when it fell over.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pop that up there and ignore it.
Wouldn't fix them. Warning, sometimes top
Super
heavy.
durable. Or do what?
Warning, sometimes top heavy.
Yep.
Did you seriously just put it back where it was?
No, I put it up a bit.
Uh-huh.
So this is our bracer display. So.
If you want to get those, too bad.
Yep. Now this one we had to mod out pretty heavily because it started out as a pink boot. It started out as a 12-inch deep shelf. So from, I think we got these on Amazon, but they do also sell them through Grid Supply Warehouse. But we're going to be having a 12-inch one below it. That way we can have like a 2-tiered effect. And then these are, ooh, yeah. I went through and cut off these ones with bolt cutters, but then Randy had to like grind through the corner ones. The bottom shelf is going to be this deep. So we'll be able to do these little, thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
This one down here you can see. We had started out using wing nuts, and those take way too much time to put on and take off. So we just, tiny little binder clips, the 2 pieces of wood sandwich onto the wire, and then we just put on the binder clip, and that holds it. Yeah? Will you come hold it for me? I only have so many hands. Okay, so to demonstrate, it holds sandwiched. You know, you need to hold at least 2 pieces of the wire. And then we'll just come through and put on the binder clip.
Which is so much faster.
Which is so much faster than the wing nut. And then that gives us something that we can put the bracer onto. And nobody will see the display, but it keeps the bracers from falling off the shelves. And we can kind of just display it up like that. I'm gonna hand this to you, baby.
You're a wing nut.
You're my wing nut. What?
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I like it. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. So we're doing some slight renovations and facelifts to our booth. Bring us a strawberry. But yeah, so I'm really excited to be able to utilize that in our booth. Like at OzCon, we're gonna have a 10x20 setup, but then at Anime St. Louis, we're only on a 10x10 on the corner. So trying to figure out how to fit the same amount of inventory as a 10x20 into a 10x10, I'm like, so utilizing vertical space and all of that, we're excited. So on those notes, I think we're done. I think we're gonna go. Right on stage. Says must be a spring thing. We just redid our booth too. Well, it's in March we did Mid-South Con after taking the winter off, and we really were able to look at what have we not been using, like what have we accumulated over the past like year or so in our booth gear that just doesn't need to be in there anymore. So we have all the bins, like we loaded them in from the back room in the van, and we've been going through all of the bins of like our displays, our inventory, just different things. So but thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. And came in at the very end. Hey, Yvonne. But I really appreciate y'all spending your time with us because it's an honor to get to be part of your crafting journey and get to hang out with y'all and just everything. Like, thank you guys for making this everything that it is. Okay, Randy wants me to go over my talking points. I lost my talking points.
That's not good.
Okay.
I only made 1 copy.
Yep. Okay, I lost the talking points. Let's see if I can do this. Patreon. All right, on Forging has been shipped off. Both Randy's and I's have been shipped off now. So if you are in the U.S., be sure to sign up for, it's free. It's the informed delivery on USPS. That way you can be updated step by step in your package's journey to you. We will be guesting at OzCon in West Plains, Missouri, the last weekend of the month, and then we'll be vending at Anime St. Louis the first weekend of May up in St. Charles, Missouri, and that one's really fun. And then we're guests at MCFC, and be sure to check out their website because they just announced like some new guests in their lineup, and they're really exciting. And then
Also in a new location
yes, it's in the Marriott, not the Graceland guest house, which we're really excited about that. We think it'll be better for the convention. Oh yeah, and you guys are awesome. So I think those are all the updates.
Callie's fine.
Oh, Callie's good. Callie's all better. She's still a cat though. I think that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Happy crafting.